Let me know when we go live.
We are already live on Facebook.
Awesome. I'm just going to close my screen. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Happy Tuesday. Can you believe it's already, what is it? It's April. It's like the second quarter of the year. So tonight, I want to introduce you to Audrey and I want to introduce you to two amazing challengers in our challenge groups, because we are going to be talking about the power of our challenge groups, of why it is that our accountability groups work. But you've seen us. You've seen me for 4 years. You've seen Audrey for 5 years. And you know that these workouts and this nutrition and this amazing Does Nutrition Shake work? But why not hear it from other people? Because you're probably tired of hearing it from us. So I'll start by introducing myself, and then I'll allow Audrey to introduce herself, and then we're going to introduce you to our amazing guest tonight. So I'm Gabby Lopez, and I've been coaching for 4 years now. I actually just celebrated my 4th anniversary on March 31st. So it's been officially 4 years. So give me 1 second. We are actually all mommies, and we have our kids in the background. So you are going to have to excuse us as we all have screaming babies in the background. But anyway, so I just celebrated my 4-year anniversary, and the way my journey started is basically after having my son. He was 8 months at the time, and I was breastfeeding, and I was, basically exhausted because I was up every like 2 to 3 hours. And I also had a lot of baby weight that I just wasn't recognizing myself, in the mirror. I do remember going to his baptism when he was 3 months and buying a dress, and I just felt horrible. I didn't like going shopping, and I've never liked going shopping. It's probably, it was because of that, because I never really liked how I looked in anything. And so that just made it even worse. So I knew I needed a change. I definitely wanted to lose the post-baby weight, but I also knew that I did not want to leave him with anyone because I was breastfeeding. And I also knew that I didn't like going to the gym because I have 2 left feet. I've tried all the classes. When people went right, I went left. I didn't know how to use the machines. I used to go to the gym and go from one machine to the next, and I kind of just did 1 round of that. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. And so I knew that I needed to find something that worked for me. And I saw a friend post a before and after, and I said, what is she doing? And so I reached out to her, and the rest is kind of history. I started in my own accountability group as a challenger, and 2 weeks in, I became a coach, and I basically just did what my coach was doing in the group, and I've never looked back. I've lost 50 pounds, and I've been able to maintain it off, and it's been 4 years. And I think that what worked for me was the accountability, that someone else was checking on me, that someone cared, that other people really wanted me to succeed, and that I could do it from home. And so tonight, these ladies are going to share how they've been able to lose weight, how they're maintaining it, and how, they're going to share what about this has helped them. It might be different for each of them. It might be the same, but I'm going to pass it on to Audrey so that she can introduce herself, and then we can get started.
Hey, everyone. So like Gabby said, we're all mommies here. And I actually want to share a picture with you. This was me before I started this journey. Look at the belly. I'm a 2-time C-section mom, and I had my boys back to back. And when your kids are little like that, like moms, you can't even use the bathroom. I had no idea how I was ever going to get to a gym and ever going to feel good about myself again, because I had no idea what I was doing. I used to eat Special K for dinner thinking that was healthy, and, check out the Slim Fast shakes and stuff like that. I tried Hydroxycut from the pharmacy too for a while. I forgot about that. But there's so many things that we try that we don't know what we're doing because we don't have the education. And when you have a family, you're not really paying for a personal trainer and personal nutritionist. But like Gabby, I tried going to the gym. And what I used to do was then I would go on the elliptical for half an hour, think, okay, that's good enough. And I would leave. And then I would go reward myself with pasta. Because I'm like, you did good, Audrey, you did good. But that wasn't going to change that body that I just showed you guys. So, I posted about Malamar's, my favorite cookie, being back in season. And that's when I got invited to a challenge group, a Beachbody challenge group. And you see, the thing is that I had already been watching people do this, that I had some acquaintances I know that had some weight to lose, and I saw them getting up early to work out from their living rooms. I saw them drinking this shake every day. And I'm like, I'm going to eat a cheeseburger if I want to eat a cheeseburger. And, until I just couldn't face myself in the mirror anymore. You girls know when that happens, when you don't even want to look in the mirror. You don't want your husband to see you naked. None of it. You didn't want to go to dressing rooms. None of it. I remember I had to get an outfit for my son's baptism. And I was in a size 10. After being in a size 4 or 6 all of my life. And I'm like, I have to do something. So I decided to join this challenge group. And in the first month, I was down 10 pounds already. And I was on a 90-day journey, and I felt amazing. For the first time in my life, I knew what to eat, and I felt in control. I had a program I was doing from home that I loved. And Shakeology, I didn't want to love it, but I loved it. So, when you love something like that and it works for you, you want to pay that forward. So tonight we have 2 special guests on the call that are currently rocking their challenge groups. And they're just here to talk to you guys about their experiences, because you guys are sick of hearing about Gabby and I. So let's pass it over. Paula, do you want to tell us a little bit about, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got started?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am Paula, and I have 3 boys. Gideon's gonna be 10 this Friday, which makes me feel really old. And then 2 younger ones. Wife, mom, stay-at-home mom. I have always been a big girl, and it's never bothered me. I'm very tall. I used to be 5'11". I've shrunk since then. I am solid, strong. I've always had people call me an Amazon woman or a brute, and it didn't bother me. It was just like, okay, yeah, that's who I am. And it never occurred to me that I could be actually healthy. I just thought that, that's who I am. I'm big boned, or, all those other things that people say as excuses. And so I just, I wasn't content in who I was. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say that. I was okay with who I was, but I was never I never felt pretty. I never felt like anybody would want to be friends with me. I never felt really like I was anything special. And I don't think I realized that at the time. I think it was just, I liked being in the background. And I think the reason why was because I didn't feel special. I thought, I'm no one, I'm not worth anything. And, thinking back to that, that's kind of sad. So at any rate, when I was in college, I actually saw an infomercial for Power 90 on VHS. So that was a long time ago, and my roommate and I were interested, so we got that, and started doing that for a little while. My kid is turning on the vacuum cleaner when he's supposed to be asleep. So we did that for a little bit, and it would be the type of thing where I would do something for a month, and then I'd feel a little bit better about myself, so I'd stop, and I'd go drink all the juice and eat all the bread, and I thought, ooh, I'm barely eating anything. I barely had any calories today. I mean, it was all in graham crackers. But, I'm doing pretty good because, I'm not getting the calories. And I just could never lose the weight. And again, I was just a big girl. So off and on, all my life, that's kind of what I did. Ended up having back surgery in 2012, and I realized I really needed to strengthen my core. So I went and saw a trainer at a gym and did that for a few weeks, but that was super expensive, so I didn't really want to keep doing that. And so I joined an accountability group, and it actually went really well for several months. And then my coach ended up getting pregnant and deciding that she wasn't going to maintain the group anymore. And so, we kind of did stuff for a few minutes and then, kind of tapered off. And then life happened. I had to start driving my kid to school 30 minutes away. And so I was in the car 2 hours a day for that. And then for all the other, and so just things just kept happening. And I just stopped taking care of myself. And I got to a point, I'm actually going to do what Audrey did. This is from last year in May. I don't know if this is going to work. It's probably too bright. Can you see me? No, probably not. Anyway, it's a picture. It's a picture.
You angle it, maybe?
Angle it. It's still too bright. Way back here, this way. No, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's a picture that they did at church, and I'm just big. Like, honestly, like, it looks like such a cute picture. My kids look great. We're all color coordinated. But I look at that picture and I remember when they took that picture, I was crying before that picture. Like, that shirt, I put it on and it ripped under my boob before we got the picture taken. Like, it just had torn apart. So I'm sitting there trying to pull the shirt back together. I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I hid behind my kids in the picture and I'm smiling. We do that, especially on social media. We, put on our happy faces and it's like, oh, look how wonderful and perfect our lives are. But I was miserable. So not too long after that, probably about a week or so after that, a friend of mine mentioned one of Gabby's accountability groups. And I was kind of like, man, I know I need to do something, but I have no motivation. I feel so blah, I have no energy, like, it's going to be a lot of work. But I was so miserable. I was just like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll do it. And within a week, I think I had lost like 8 pounds and like 6 inches, or maybe it was the other way around. And then the next week, I had lost more, and I think I had lost like, I can't remember exactly. I should have looked it up. In 21 days, I think I was down like 12 pounds and 10 inches. I'm pretty sure that's right. So I was just so excited. And at that point, I was motivated. I wasn't motivated before. But when you start seeing those results, it's like, I'm going to keep going. And so I kept going. And so since my heaviest back in last April or May, I'm down about 35 pounds. Since I started that accountability group, I hadn't taken my measurements before that. I'm down 25 inches since that accountability group. So that's a lot. Like, I am at the lightest I have ever been since middle school. And I still have a way to go. I'm not done. Progress, not perfection. But I'm loving this journey. And it's not, one of the things I keep telling people, and I know I'm talking a lot, sorry. One of the things I keep telling people is it's not just the physical changes. Like, yeah, that's cool, but it really, for me, the part that's amazing is the mental change. The fact that after a couple of weeks of doing this first group, I started realizing, wow, I can do this. Like, oh, maybe this is hard, but I feel accomplished when I do it. And now I've gotten to the point where I think, it's my journey and I'm doing this. And when I take care of me, I'm better for my family. And I can do hard things. I hear that all the time, but it's like, you don't like internalize that and realize that. And I used to be really insecure, and I used to have depression and anxiety, and all of that stuff has gotten so much better. And I'm not saying like this is a cure for that, but all of that has improved so much, and I feel like a new person. And that's saying an awful lot for something that's supposed to be exercise and food. But no, it's exercise, it's food, it's the accountability. I mean, the friendships that I've made in these groups, And, that we read books together, there's just so much that we do that is making me a better version of me.
Mm-hmm. And, there's two things, Paula, that you said. The first one is that you were in that picture, and I commend you for being in the picture, even though you were miserable, because, there's so many moms that hide, that rather not be in the picture, but you were in the picture. And it's funny because it made me reflect back, and I don't have a lot of before pictures because I just didn't want to be in the picture. Like, here, take a picture of the kids. I'm not going to be in it. And the second thing is that you mentioned how mentally it helps you feel better. Last night we did this call in Spanish. As anyone's watching and prefers to watch in Spanish, go to last night's call. And one of the people that we interviewed said the same thing, that she had depression. And this helped her come out of that because she just felt so much better overall. So everything that you touched upon is spot on. And I think it's the experience of mostly everybody that fully commits to the program and going through the journey. Thank you. Vivian.
Can I just add something before we ask Vivian to go ahead and introduce herself and share a little bit about her story? I just want to add about Paula that throughout this journey, she actually broke her toe, guys.
Yeah.
And so she forgot to share that. And I know that can be a setback, or that can be, for many of us, oh, forget it, I can't exercise. So you know what, I'm just going to stop. And instead of doing that, she just, she couldn't work out for a few weeks. And so instead what she did was she focused just on her nutrition, and she still lost weight, and she still was very committed. And that's why she's 35 pounds, less and 25 inches less. So, and the fact that she was in a group where everyone was cheering her on and saying, you can do this, just because you can't do this, you can certainly do that. So that's the power of these groups. So I just wanted to add that.
That was huge, because it was the type of thing that I was like, I never want to go back to that place where I was so depressed and felt like I had no chance of doing anything. And it was Gabby and it was the other people in the group who were like, no, you can do this. It'll work. It'll be okay. Focus on the nutrition. And I was like, oh yeah. I don't want to go back there. And so it really did change things. And I will say also that 5 pounds that I lost with my broken toe, that was over Thanksgiving too. So, it doesn't matter the holidays or whatever. You can do these things. You can enjoy yourself, but you can do hard things.
Yes, absolutely. So Vivian, tell us a little bit about your experience with the accountability groups, why you joined, and and just share a little bit about your success.
And mute her, Gab.
I've always actually been very active, so I would eat anything I want and I will lose it quick. But then after my second baby, that's when I started noticing I couldn't fit into my clothes. I started getting depressed. And I would blame it on that I was still breastfeeding. So I was like, oh, I'll lose it. I can eat whatever I want. Because the myth. So if you're breastfeeding, you lose it quick. Well, not in my case. So I started, I would notice my cousin and then Audrey, that they would do workouts. And I'm like, what are they doing to lose weight? And I used to hear about Beachbody, but I didn't know what it was. I would just see videos and things like that. So it took me about 7 to 8 months to reach out. Sorry, guys, I have the kids. To reach out to Audrey and ask her about how that program worked. So as soon as I joined, I noticed I lost 11 pounds and 17 inches overall. That was within 20 days. And to be honest, right now, I'm in the second phase of the program where I haven't gotten on the scale because I don't want to get discouraged. But I'm seeing a lot of results. And not only that, but the shake. At first, I was kind of doubting to drink it because I'm still currently breastfeeding. So I did my research on it, and it's making me feel more energized. I'm always happy. And what has really helped me is the portion control, which is so awesome because they give me these little containers which that was my problem eating. I would just eat anything I want and big portions. So now I know exactly what to eat. They give me different kind of containers here, and that's what really has helped me maintain my weight. And I'm actually seeing more results now, this second phase. Like my clothes fits amazing. I mean, I don't have pictures right now. I'm in scrubs, but I've noticed so many changes. I actually just came from the store right now because I had to go shopping. I have an interview tomorrow and I couldn't fit into my clothes. They were very loose. So I just went shopping and it felt amazing.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, because most women complain about the fitting room and run out with nothing in their hands. Because I remember I used to put everything back, but then you're there like excited because you need a new wardrobe. That's the best reason to shop.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wanna talk a little bit about, because she mentioned breastfeeding and the shake. So let's talk a little bit about that. I know that when I started my journey, I was also breastfeeding. I was breastfeeding my 8-month son at the time, and I also did my own research because I had never taken any shakes. When I was pregnant, Jorge, my husband, would prepare me a green juice, and so that's the only thing that I had done prior. And so I was hesitant. I was very hesitant because I wanted to make sure that whatever I was, drinking, eating was safe for my son. I mean, as Hispanic or, moms, doesn't matter, what background. I'm sure. Did you breastfeed, Paula? You did. So I imagine that your mom would be like, you can't eat that. You can't eat, so my mom was like, you can't have that because it makes you gassy and it's going to make the baby uncomfortable and blah, blah, blah. So I was like already concerned about the fact that, you know what, I can't eat this. I can't eat that. So can you imagine drinking something that may affect my son, through the breast milk? I did my research, and the beauty about Shakeology is that it does not have any artificial sweeteners. It does not have any artificial coloring. It does not have soy lecithin. And so I want to, ask from, I know that Audrey breastfed, right, while you were drinking the shake. And so, hearing Vivian say that is good, because I know we get a lot of new mommies or, moms that are breastfeeding that are asking, is it safe? And so, the first thing that we always say is you got to ask your doctor if your doctor is okay with it, right? And so that's why, we give you the ingredients so that you can present it with the doctor. But I must say that, I breastfed when 5 years old, and almost 5. He will say that, almost 5. He's almost 5 next month, God willing. And he is so healthy, and, and he is so strong, and he, has so much energy. And that gave me energy because it's full of nutrients. That's the beauty of that shake. It is, over 70 superfoods. And so I know that many doctors as well, OBGYNs, will clear you to drink it while you're breastfeeding and also when you're pregnant, because it has all those vitamins, all those minerals. So, so it replaces that prenatal pill. So that was my experience. Again, if you are a breastfeeding mom or if you are pregnant, we always say, talk to your doctor, but it's been safe for me. As Vivian mentioned, she's breastfeeding and she's drinking it, and she did her research, and it's been great for her. So let's hear from Audrey, because I know that she also breastfed while she was drinking it.
Yeah, I actually started my journey when my youngest was 6 months old. And that was definitely one of the questions I had is it safe for my son? And it's totally safe. Got it cleared by his pediatrician. And I drank it for the rest of the time in which I was breastfeeding him, which was a little after he turned 1 year old. So about 6 months. But another thing I want to say about Shakeology is, like, we all have different stories about what Shakeology does for us. For me personally, I used to get sick all the time. The joke in my house was that my oldest would catch a cold and I would catch a fever. It was like known. He would get sick, I'd be in bed the next day. So I remember 3 months into my journey, both of my boys had double ear infections, and they were coughing and sneezing in my face. And I remember holding them in the rocking chair, like, wait, why am I not sick? For the first time, I wasn't sick. And I'm like, it's because I'm taking care of myself and I'm drinking the shake every single day. And my family has a history of a low immune system. So it's for me, Shakeology is what keeps me healthy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the containers, since Vivian also brought those containers. I want to know your experiences with the containers, because when a lot of our challengers see the containers, they're like, wait a minute, am I only going to eat one of those things? Right? And so I must say that you got a lot of food. I think the complaint most of the times is, I can't eat all this food, right? Because sometimes we feel that if we eat less, we're going to get better results. And that's not true, because what's happening is that, you are depriving your body from the nutrients that it needs. And so we'll go back to Shakeology because of all those nutrients that it has. But I just wanted to touch upon the containers, not to forget about them, because I know that, with this journey I'm on right now, this 80-day program, I actually struggle at the beginning to eat all the food because it was a lot of food. So what's been your experience, Paula, with the containers?
So for the containers, first I want to say, when I was in my past accountability group a few years ago, I didn't follow the nutrition. I just did the exercising. And so I think that probably affected things a lot, because I guess now I know that nutrition is 80% of your results. So you can exercise all you want and you can have yourself at a deficit and you will see results, but it's going to affect the way your body reacts. So when I started Gabby's group, I had like this total fear that if I didn't do everything exactly right, they were going to kick me out of the group. I never told her that, but I was terrified of that. So I was like, I'm going to do everything exactly right. And so you get these containers, and like she said, they look really small and you're not exactly sure what to do with them. And it's intimidating. Just like the accountability groups can be intimidating, but there's really nothing to fear. Like so many of our problems in life, and I'm digressing a little bit, but so many of our problems, so many of the reasons we don't want to start something is because of fear. And it's like, well, fear of failing, or fear of, it's a big group and I'm afraid what somebody's going to say to me. But like, these are the people who want to help. These are the people who want to encourage you. And the containers, oh, well, I don't know what I'm doing, or it's too much, or it's too little, or I don't want to eat that much food because I'm afraid that I'm going to get fat from it. And it's like, no, you got to trust the process. And I think that was really helpful too, is just hearing, trust the process, trust the process. I mean, this is developed by nutritionists. This is developed by people who know what they're doing. This isn't just somebody who's like, oh yeah, use any little thing whatsoever. But so you get all these different containers from all your different, holds all your different macros, and they give you a list of foods that are really, really good for you, and you can fill your containers up with that. And they tell you how many. You do this calculation that's actually really simple. And the thing, really honestly, the thing that I really would point home on that is we make everything so complicated. And Gabby will tell you, like, I overthink everything. I'm always asking her questions like, Paula, you're overthinking again. But it really is so simple. And especially in this 80-day program, we have this timed nutrition. So it's even more complicated. Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. And we all felt that way. I'm not making fun of anyone. It's like, that's how we felt too. And then once you started, it's like, oh, this is actually easier because they tell me what to do. I don't have to think about it at all. I can just do it. And look at these amazing results I'm getting. So I think we talk ourselves out of things mentally before we even try them. And so for me, like, the containers have been so helpful. Oh, the other thing about the containers is when you try to eyeball it, you're probably not right. And that's one of the things that's great about this is, you think you're getting a good portion on your plate, like when you do it by yourself. But a lot of times you're going to realize, even with a salad, you can overeat with a salad, especially all the little fixings you put on top and everything. So it's like, the portion control is so huge because, if you use a tablespoon extra of peanut butter, that's a lot of extra calories. If you use, a couple extra containers full of whatever, it's just we are very, very bad at estimating. So the containers really, really take all the guesswork out. I guess that's a simple way to put it.
Mm-hmm. And like something I want to say about the containers is when I first got them, I thought to myself, whoa, I really overeat carbs and undereat veggies. Like we do not eat enough vegetables. And this container system really helps you see. And like Gabby said, we the number one complaint is that it's too much food. It's too much food. I always hear it from my challengers. And then after a while, once your metabolism kicks in, you're going to want that food. You're going to be hungry. Your body's going to crave it. But going back a little bit to the breastfeeding, the containers, the calories that you're going to eat in a day, it's calculated upon whatever your goals are and your starting weight. So if you come into us to a coach and you want to lose weight, we'll help you figure out a meal plan for that using the containers. If you want to maintain and tone, we'll help you with that. And even if you want to gain weight, we've had challengers that their goal is to gain weight. We'll help you with that. Gabby, for example, is at her target weight. So Gabby is eating a lot. And the containers are helping her with that.
Yes, eating a ton of food. And that's what I said earlier, that, when I first started the 80-day program, it was a lot of food because I typically wasn't eating at that level. And you hear my son in the background, he's having a fit. And so, and I can't concentrate. This is what moms deal with. And so basically I just felt like, oh my God, it was so much food. But then the second week, I was so hungry that I was so happy that I was on that plan because my body needed it, because I was burning so much calories, because my metabolism was working super fast. So like Paula was saying, you got to trust the process. And that's the other thing, what Audrey mentioned, not knowing how much of each food group, because in your mind, you're like, oh, but I'm eating good. But you all you're really serving yourself is a ton of bread or a ton of pasta or the things that you do enjoy, right?
Or fruit.
Right. And fruit, and that's sugar, right? That's naturally is high in sugar. And so just knowing that a professional took the time to figure out, how much of each food group you need in order to reach your goal is so important. So, Vivian, what has been your experience with the containers?
I'm used to eating a lot. So I got discouraged when I first seen them because they're very small, but you actually eat every 2 hours. So it worked out perfect. At first I was thinking, oh my gosh, do I have to only eat 3 meals? But no, it's basically like your 3 meals plus snacks, and it's every 2 hours. So you really don't have, by the time you're getting hungry, it's time to eat again. So I think that's what has helped me the most. Because before I used to exercise and I wouldn't see results as fast as I did now. And I know it's because of the nutrition. That has a lot to do with it. Sorry, the kids. No!
and that's the other thing with, let me mute. And so that's the other thing with this, guys. The fact that I'm going to move into the fact that we're all moms and we get to be home with our kids while we're working out. She's home right now and she doesn't have to worry about leaving her kids to get her workout in. And I know for me, that was a big thing when I signed up because I didn't want to leave Matias. I was breastfeeding. I didn't want to leave him with someone. And it would take me, the only thing I ever got into was Bikram yoga. And that's an hour and a half. And I honestly didn't have an hour and a half, 15 minutes to get to the studio, 15 minutes to get back, right? That's at least 2 hours that I would be away from him. And I didn't want to do that. And I feel like there's other moms that feel the same way. They don't want to, and even taking them to the gym and there's like childcare there or whatever. Right. That's how I felt, Paula. Like I just don't trust too many people, around my son. And so I wanted to make sure that if I was working on my goals, I didn't have to, jeopardize his safety or also, his time, right? I wanted to be around him. And so I would do it either when he was napping or I would do it, when he was doing something, right? So it's important to understand that this gives us the freedom to work out around our own schedule, and not like when the class is scheduled and you can't make it, right? Or when the gym is open and maybe it's too early or too late for you or whatever. So that works out.
And also the example that we're being for our kids. I know that my boys are really into being fit and being strong, and they compete with each other over who does better push-ups. And the first thing they ask me every morning is, Mommy, did you get your workout in? And that means so much to me, because then I have like accountability from them. And it's like, we had to become adults in order to say, okay, I need to learn how to eat. I need to learn how to take care of myself. But we get to now raise children that have that mindset of proper nutrition. Like the other day, it's so funny. I asked my husband to bring home bread. There was no whole wheat bread in the supermarket, so he brought home white bread. And my boys did not like it. They're like, this is disgusting. What is this? Because they're just not used to it, because we don't eat like that in my house.
The opposite. I love it. That's great. So let's talk, guys, about that. Let's talk a little bit about how has it been, having access to this virtual gym that you get to do from home.
Well, I'm going to jump in because I want to. I love being able to work out from home. I actually, like I said, I tried to do a little bit of time at the gym. It was actually when my youngest was a baby. And my husband, I would have to wait until my husband was available to try to go to the gym so that he could watch the baby. And I would have to try to schedule the baby's naps around when my husband was available so that he could still work, because he works from home. And it would just end up happening that I would barely ever get to the gym. So that was ridiculous. You're paying for a gym membership and you're never using it. I'm just getting discouraged. So working out from home has been excellent for me. I can do it when I want to. Initially, I really enjoyed doing it during my son's nap time in the afternoons. Right now, I've switched it, so I'm doing it in the morning before they wake up. And I actually love doing it in the morning now because it sets the tone for your day. You do it, it's done. You've already done something hard. You've worked out a lot of that pent-up energy. So if something frustrating comes up during the day, you're more able to handle it. And you're less likely to indulge in things that maybe you shouldn't indulge in because you've already done so much work. And it just changes your mindset for the day. And I love doing it like that. That doesn't mean that that's the only way to do it. It's just what's worked for me now. And the other thing that's happened is I'm working out, and a lot of times my kids do come downstairs. They are home. They'll come and they'll join me. It's so fun. Like even my 3-year-old will come in. The other day, I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm exercising. And he had my bands and he had my sliders and he had my weights and he was doing it. And then my 7-year-old came in and he's showing the 3-year-old how to do one of the routines. And I didn't even realize my 7-year-old had it memorized. Like he's sitting there doing it, showing him how to do the routines. And I took a picture of them. I think they were doing like little flamingos together. And then, so, I mean, they're watching. They're watching, and then when they actually they'll actually do an entire exercise video with me, and then they'll ask for a shake at the end too. So they get the whole thing. They eat clean too. There are some times when they get a little fussy about it because they want a piece of pizza, but honestly, like we have our way of making pizza too that they've even said that they like better than a real pizza. Now, if they're at a party or something, oh, that's the crazy thing. I know I'm getting a little off track again, but if they go to a party and they have a normal piece of pizza, they are insane the next day. Like it affects, I'm not joking. It happens every single time. There is something about eating clean that makes them like sugar levels, whatever it is, I don't know what it is. It keeps them stable. And when they get junk food, it is hard for them to control themselves. And I don't mean that to be nasty. I mean, same things with us. Like, you can tell when you've done something or eaten something that makes you not feel good. So anyway, I got off track though. Like the working out, I love it all. The working out at home has just worked out so well for me. And like the online gym, it also has a cookbook, and it has a cooking show that have healthy versions of some of the things we like to eat. Like, we on our 80-day plan that is very, 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 very healthy. You're training like an athlete, you're eating like an athlete. You get to eat donuts. I know this is drop the donut, but they're like healthy donuts, and they're good, and it's okay to have it in moderation. But it's okay. Like, there are healthy ways to do the things you want to do, and all of this is available on our gym.
I love it. How about you, Vivian?
Oh, I actually love it because, like I said, my babies are still very small and I'm a working mom. So when I get off, I just want to focus all my attention on them. So what I do, I work out real early in the morning while they're asleep, and then I head to work. So when I come back home, I don't have to worry about, the workouts, or like you said, spending 2 hours in traffic to head to the gym. And not only that, but it's very, the price is nothing compared to a gym. So it works out perfect for me as a mom.
That's awesome. And since Vivian brought it up, let's talk about the price. Let's talk about the price, guys. Did you guys have any objections to the price, or what was your thought behind, when you were enrolling? Did you give Audrey a hard time, Vivian, to come on board because of the price, or like you said, you felt like it was cheaper than a gym?
Well, I did feel like it was cheaper than a gym. The pricing, it depends if you want to get other things. So at first, since I didn't know what Shakeology was, I did kind of doubt it, the Shakeology and all the other products like the pre-workout, because of course I was breastfeeding. So I was like, should I pay for that when I'm not going to take it? But now that I'm into the program, I had reached out to Audrey and I told her, oh my God, I'm loving the shakes, and it's worth the money. Because I can spend sometimes $5 in a Starbucks or coffee that is so expensive. So I'm like, I'd rather just quit doing that and spend it on something that's healthy, and it's worth the price. But honestly, I don't think it's expensive at all because you get so much out of it. It has very natural ingredients, and also you get unlimited. It's like a Netflix, like unlimited workouts for anything you want to work on. If you want to tone, if you want to lose. And when you go to the gym, you basically don't have the help. If you don't know how to use the machines, you're on your own. So even if you go, you're going to be working twice as hard. Like, you can be in the gym for 2 hours and not get any results. And with this program, I can do from 30 to 60 minutes, and I'm getting results you have no idea. Like, in a month, I've noticed so much difference. And before, I used to go to the gym and spend like 2 to 3 hours, and I was just maintaining my weight, but I wouldn't see any other results. So I think the price is very good for everything that it has included.
I want to say also that Vivian is very thorough. On Saturday, we had Dr. Luigi Graton, who is the Vice President of Nutritionals for Beachbody, at our Super Saturday event. I went live as he was talking about the ingredients of Shakeology and the reason why it's so important in the American diet today. And Vivian was on the live, and Vivian was like, everything he's saying is true, because she's in the medical field, so she did her own research prior to joining, and she's like, everything he's saying is true. So that's just a testimony about the power of what we do and how it really is good for you.
Absolutely. How about you, Paula? Did you have any objections to the price? Did you have a problem with it?
Well, back in my old accountability group, again, a few years ago, I did have an objection to it. I mean, it's a lot of money, and I wasn't working at the time. I'm not now either, but yeah, I mean, I there's that mom guilt of, I'm not working, I'm staying at home. Like, I can't spend that kind of money on me. I can't spend time on me. I can't spend money on me. That's just not acceptable. That puts extra pressure on my family, on my husband, that takes away something from my kids. I saw it as a very negative thing. And so actually, I've done protein shakes for years and years and years. Let me think. Man, my son is 10. So I stopped working shortly after he was born. So I'm thinking even 10 years ago, I was taking protein shakes. I was drinking them at work. And like, it didn't do much of anything. It was mostly, I haven't had any protein today. So like, I'm going to drink something that has some protein. Oh, yay, I'm healthy. And I did that for years and years and years and years, and spent a lot of money on it. And then at some point, I think I just kept looking into it because I saw it, and I was in the group, but I didn't have to drink it. And I, started looking up a little bit more about the ingredients, and I started looking up, what's the difference? And I was looking up the cost difference. It's like, okay, well, this one is $2 a piece, and this one is $3 a piece, and this one's $4 a piece. And, with that, that is kind of a big difference. But then I'm like, wait a second, what is it that I'm drinking anyway? And I started looking at the actual names of it. And I mean, there's so many things in there that it's just like, what am I putting in my body? Like, it calls itself protein, but what kind of protein is it? And what are all these sweeteners and thickening agents and, emulsifiers and like all other these words that I had to like actually look up, because like, I'm not really sure what it actually is that I'm spending $3 a bottle on this thing. And so when I started thinking about it that way, I'm like, okay, look at the ingredients of what's in Shakeology versus what's in these other things. And okay, so it costs a little bit more, but if it's really that natural. And the other thing that I liked is everybody in my family seems to be very sensitive to dairy. And so I really liked the fact that there was a vegan option for the shakes too. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to, initially I did try the regular, but then now I do the vegan shakes. But when I told myself, okay, yes, it is an investment, but it seems like it might be worth it. So let me try it out and see what happens. And so I tried it, and I was like, you know what? This is actually really good. It helps with my cravings. I just totally feel like it's better for me. And I guess there are some studies, clinical studies or something, that say that it's good for helping lower, I think it's cholesterol and diabetes. I don't remember exactly. I guess Gabby or Audrey can tell a little bit more about that stuff. I don't want to say anything wrong, but there are all these things about it that are so much more beneficial. And when I started thinking about it in that way, that you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of your family, it stopped being, oh no, I'm being selfish by doing this. And it started being, okay, so I'm really only paying a little bit more to do something that's way healthier. And then I'm way healthier for my family. I'm not as tired. I don't have as many cravings. Like, there's something about it. Like, I used to drink coffee all the time. And since we started this 80-day program, like, I think I've had coffee once or twice, and then I haven't been able to sleep at night because I had coffee. So it's like, I don't even need coffee anymore. That's pretty cool. So anyway, yes, I had objections at first. It took me a really long time to get to the point where I was like, okay, I'll try it and see what happens. And then I loved it.
That's
awesome. That was the short version.
I know Audrey had a similar experience. What's your experience, Audrey, with the price?
Oh my gosh. So I asked my coach how much it was. And when she told me, I thought to myself, because at that time, it's just like Paula, I felt guilty. Like, we couldn't even really afford to get our little one new clothes. He was using his big brother's hand-me-down. I'm like, so how am I going to spend money on this for me? But I thought to myself, you know what? It's expensive enough that'll make me do it, because how many things don't we buy that then we shelf and not even use? Like, I know a lot of people have P90X boxes collecting dust. And then I thought, but it is cheap enough that I can put it on my credit card and worry about it on another billing statement. So I decided to do it. And just like Vivian was saying, it is so much more that you're getting for the cost that it is. I think honestly, for what you're getting, it should be like 5 times the cost, especially because the fitness program itself, the Beachbody On Demand, you have that for an entire year. So you pay this one price and then you have this the entire year with a cooking show, all these different programs, everything.
Good, Poppy. So I'm gonna say that you know, my experience, I was so ready that I was just like, I was also a stay-at-home mom, not working, and so I wasn't bringing any money, but I was just like, I need to lose weight. Jorge, please, right? And when I signed up, guys, I actually bought, back in the day, we didn't have the virtual gym that we have today. You're getting every single program that has ever been created by Beachbody in this virtual gym for an entire year membership, okay? Now, when I joined, I got DVDs for one program. And guess what? It was more expensive than what it is today for one program. And my program didn't come with the containers for helping me with portion controls. So at that time, I actually had to get one of those weights to weigh my food to make sure that I was eating the right amount. Now, you just got to put it in that little container, and that's how you know that you're eating the right amount. And so they've made our lives so much easier. And guess what? Just like Vivian said, you know, you are coming in with a package that best fits you, that fits your needs, that's going to help you reach your goals, right? So it can be the basic, it can be the combo, in between deluxe, or it can be the mega, right? With everything. And guess what? The basic package will start you. And if you are a math genius, you can do the math. It's going to cost you 44 cents per day. And so you decide if 44 cents per day is, you know, it's worth it to you. Are you worth 44 cents? You know, and that 44 cents is going to get you a virtual gym for a year. That 44 cents is going to get you also a nutritional plan that was put together by nutritionists, professionals, right? All of those programs that you will have access to, those are world-class trainers, guys. You're going to get containers that will make your life easier when it comes to portioning your meals. And you will also have a 30-day supply of Shakeology, and you get to taste it. You get to say, you know, let me see how it reacts with my body. You know, are these ladies, what these ladies are saying, is it going to do the same for me? Is it going to give me energy? Is it going to cut my cravings, right? Is it going to make me regular? Because many people, you know, are regular because of Shakeology. You know, it lowers cholesterol. It lowers, you know, it's clinically proven. It helps you lose weight. Why? Because you're getting nutrients into your body. And so you're not craving the junk food. So you're not, you know, piling yourself with all this stuff that you don't need. And it also lowers sugar levels. And so, you know, so you have to try it for yourself, but do the math. 44 cents, really? You are spending more than that in a day at a Starbucks or at Dunkin' Donuts or at CVS or Rite Aid, right? And so, so most importantly, you have to decide, is this something that will impact my life in a positive way? So anything else, Audrey, that you want to cover?
Well, I want to be able to ask the girls if there's people that are watching this video that are borderline on joining or not and are scared to ask, because like, look at what Vivian just said, that she had been watching for a couple of months before she decided to reach out. What would you say to that person that's sitting on the fence right now? Paula, you want to say something?
Gotta unmute myself. Well, I guess for me, it's really, I mean, personally, like I said earlier, I have had so much self-doubt and I don't want to say hatred, because it's not hatred, just like not being comfortable as myself. And I really feel that it's not the physical changes that are the biggest thing that I've experienced. I really think it's just the mental changes and the fact that I've realized now that I can do something hard and that I am able and capable. And my insecurities have been replaced with the fact that I am able and capable, and that's just, it's an amazing feeling. And like, one of the things that I do want to say about it is, in order to do this, you got to be willing to actually do it. It's kind of like anything else in life. If you just listen and you don't actually put anything into action, it's not doing anything for you. If you're sitting there and watching, it's not doing anything for you. So if you're gonna do it, and you'll get the results. Like, if we're afraid of not getting results, it's because we aren't really ready to commit. And like, it's fear talking, and fear is a terrible motivator. Like, that's one of the things too that I think has changed about me. I have so much less fear now, just everything in general. I'm not talking just, my workout routines. I'm talking about, that's applicable in all areas of life. That's applicable in your relationships. That's applicable in faith. That's applicable, and it's a weird word. It just, everything in life, your life can be strangled by fear. And I think that that's what it was for me for starting this time around. It was, fear of doing something hard, or I don't want to give something up. And why would you let fear rule your life and steal this joy from you, and steal like your life from you, and steal your ability to play with your kids, and steal your ability to like have a good night's rest, or feel like you're comfortable in your own skin? You hear that phrase all the time. It's just, fear is terrible. Who wants fear? No one wants fear. So like, stop watching and let yourself have the chance to be better.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Vivian, I'm going to unmute you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
So Audrey asked you watch her for about 7 months, right? From the sidelines without reaching out. So what would you say to someone who is watching just like you?
I would just say to go for it, because you gain so much. Not only you gain your confidence back, you gain happiness, and most important, your health, because you feel so healthy and so energized. And I feel like it's worth the money. The way I see it is, do you rather spend, say $100 a year? That is nothing compared to, if you're not eating healthy, you're going to be going constantly to the doctor, constantly to the hospital, and that is going to add up even more to it. Not only that, but it's also your health. So you're saving so much money, and then you're gaining a lot from it: confidence, happiness, and mentally you just feel amazing in all kinds. So I would just encourage everybody to go ahead and do it, because I feel so energetic. I feel so happy like every day. And best of all, like you gain so much confidence, especially seeing how good you look in clothes, with and without clothes, because you're just not ashamed. Before, it's like, oh, I wanted to turn off the lights. I'm like, oh, even though my husband doesn't tell me anything, but I'm like, oh my God, I don't want him to see me. But now it's like, I don't care. It's just you'll be amazed how you feel. Yes. Yes, you'll gain so much confidence. Baby.
He's like, yes.
No, that's I have to say, I'm gonna add one thing that I want to make sure that that we mention or reiterate is that this community is what kind of pulls everything together. And so, I mentioned that when I joined my group, that's what did it for me, right? Because you can have, I want to make sure that you understand that, I actually, and I'll say this story and then I'll tie it all together. I have someone, not just someone like Vivian, but many women that watch us for, months and even years. I've had people, come and say, I've been watching you for 3 years. And I'm like, no, like, come join me. You could have been at your, goal already had you joined me 3 years ago, right? So, but recently I had someone join me that's been watching me for 8 months, right? 8 months. And she finally, had the courage to reach out. And I'm so glad because, guys, we don't bite. We want to help you guys reach the goals that, your goals. And basically the reason we decided to pay it forward was because we realized that it can be done from home and that, you don't have to guess the work and that you don't have to pay, all this crazy money to get results. You can do it from your living room. You have a personal trainer from your living room every single day. You have a nutritional plan that was put together by a professional, a nutritionist, right? You get an amazing dense shake, nutrient dense shake. And on top of that, you have cheerleaders like these tonight. I mean, our groups are that people who care that you get results. And for me, that's what, sealed the deal. That's what helped me lose 50 pounds because I had people checking on me. I had people cheering me on. I had people giving me recipes. I had people, helping me on those difficult days, the days I didn't want to press play because guess what? I don't like working out. And I saw your post, Paula. Paula, put my little secret out there, but it's not such a secret because I tell everyone I don't like working out, but I like the results I'm seeing. Just like Paula said, I didn't want to do it. But then when I lost 12 pounds, she was addicted to it. And she said, holy crap, you know what? I want more of that. And so that's why these groups work because people, are there on those difficult days, but people are also there to celebrate your success. People are also there to congratulate you, but most importantly, to push you, to motivate you, to inspire you. And I think that that's why these groups work. 3 of the components of getting results are an exercise program, a nutrition program, and having support. If you're missing one of those, and you're struggling with getting results, with meeting your goals, is because you're missing one of those. You might be going to the gym and going to eat pizza like Audrey did, right? After. And you might not have a cheerleader at home. Guess what? When you miss the gym, and I'm not trying to bash a gym, but I know that when I missed the gym, no one was calling me, Gab, you didn't come to the gym today. Or even Bikram, you didn't show up to the class today. No, but they would call me if my card declined. Here, if you don't show up, if you don't put your sweaty picture, we're all over you. Where you at, girl? What's going on, right? Even my girls, they call me out. Gab, where are you? You didn't show up today at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Where are you, right? Because we care about each other. We care about each other's success. And so my thing is that, you're going to get all those 3 components. And that's the beauty of this, the beauty of this community. Audrey?
Absolutely. And, I'm an introvert. So being able to do this from home and having my group there, it's wonderful. And also, like you said, we don't knock a gym because I have a lot of challengers also. We have an app that you can have on your phone. You can stream it, take the workouts to the gym with you. It works just as fine. I have some challengers that also live in buildings and they take their workout to the gym in their building and they do it there. So you have all kinds of variety with this program. So I agree with what Paula and Vivian said. Don't think about it. Don't watch. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Just join us. And you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. Shakeology, drink the whole bag within 30 days, return it, and you're going to get your money back. We're that serious about helping you get results.
But you won't return it because you will feel amazing after those 30 days. And you will be closer to your goal weight or at your goal weight, And like Audrey had mentioned before, this is not just about losing weight. You know, you can also gain weight, right? You can also tone, get cut. I know Paula's rocking abs now. So the bottom, the bottom line is that you can, whatever your goal is, whatever it is, and you can come and just reach out to the person who invited you to this call. You know, if that is Paula, if that's Vivian, if that's Audrey, if that was me, or any of the coaches who send this video to you or tag you on this video, you know, reach out to them, ask questions. You know, if you have a question, drop them on the live, and we will come back and answer those for you. We hope that we were able to answer all your questions. Don't think about it, because guess what? It's April already. And that's 4 months into the year. And before you know it, it will be the summer. And before you know it, it'll be Halloween. And then it'll be Christmas. And then it'll be 2019. And you'll regret not joining us. And we will continue to be here. And you will continue to see these amazing ladies getting more results, getting more cut, getting stronger, healthier.
And, you know, don't be scared if you feel like you have a lot of weight to lose, because you'll be surprised at how good you feel with like 5 pounds off, 10 pounds off. And that happens really quickly. I remember when Vivian came into the group, how quickly she started losing, not just pounds, because pounds don't matter to us as much as the inches. She started losing all of these inches right away. And I remember being like, whoa, this stuff does work.
That's right. That's right.
So don't be scared of that, and just reach out to the person that invited you to watch this video tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Vivian, and thank you, Paula, for taking tonight. I know you guys are both mommies, as we said, and, you know, taking the time to share your stories so that you guys can inspire other women. Because if you guys were able to do it, if we were all able to do it with kids, with lives, with hubbies, right? Then you guys can certainly do it too. So have a great night, and thank you again for tuning in.
Good night.